Hi friends, today I wanted to discuss about some common ornamental garden flowering plants that we grow and its scientific modifications that they have. Before that I wanted to share this tree which is also called a silk cotton tree. There also the silk cotton is very expensive and used in stuffing for mattresses and pillows. It is obtained from this plant Bombax ceiba bombacesi. This plant has been photographed from Lalbagh, which is more than 150 years old. The huge gigantic tree is supported by the root buttresses that are there. If you can look into these root buttresses, they are supporting this huge gigantic tree, and you can see the size of people here. This tree is present in Lalbagh Botanical Garden whenever you visit it. Now at present they have fenced it. Earlier we were all having access and we used to take a group photograph on this root buttresses. The gigantic tree weight is borne by this root buttresses of this silk cotton tree or Bombax ceiba. Now we'll go for the ornamental garden plants that we have. The Dahlia species or dairy hoover, what we call commonly, it belongs to the family Asteraceae. It has wonderful flowers and they have the tubers through which the plants are propagated. So that is how we grow this plant. So this is Geranium. If you look into the leaves, it is almost kidney shaped leaves and it is very aromatic. So these are commonly we grow them as ornamental plants, the reddish variety of it. You might have crushed the leaf and smelt this aroma that is there. It is Geranium species. It belongs to the family Geraniaceae. There is also a hybrid variety of pink colored Geranium that you can see. This is one more of the plant where they grow it as an ornamental plant, and if you look into the flowers, they are all test tube shaped structure. So and the sepals and petals are same colored. So you can find this monocacial helicoid sign inflorescence. It is like the helicoid nature of the mosquito coil. So they go on branching at one side and the inflorescence arrangement is helicoid sign. This is Hemelia patens. It belongs to the coffee family or Rubiaceae. This is also commonly grown as an ornamental plant for its wonderful flowers that it has. So monofacial helicoid sign inflorescence. The next one, this is Impatiens. It also has a spur. You can notice this long thing in this. This is a plant which is belonging to the Balsamini family. It is a very close related plant of the Karnakundala or balsam plant what we have. Even this is grown as an ornamental plant. Here you can see the varied colors of the flower. These are all the hybrid varieties that has been developed by the gardeners. The next one that I wanted to discuss about is the Palmata family. Here you can see the Hypomia palmata family. So the flowers of it that you can notice. So the next one is the Chrysanthemum or Samandipu or Sevantige, what we call it, as it belongs to the Asteraceae. Chrysanthemum is the national flower of Japan. It belongs to the Asteraceae family. It is grown as an ornamental plant, and the stem cuttings, underground stem cuttings, which we call it as suckers, are used for propagation of this plant. So the flower is quite commercially very much important and utilized for making garlands. This is commonly grown garden plant, and they have wonderful colored flowers with the center white shade that gives it a distinct nature. It is called as Jackmontia species. It belongs to Acanthaceae. It's a creeper with colorful flowers. It is grown as an ornamental plant in the gardens, and this is also one more wonderful ornamental plant that you can grow in your garden. So this is you could have seen wildly growing plant Lantana camera, but this is a hybrid variety. You can notice even the leaves are variegated. They have more than one color, and the flowers are all having a uniform color. The wild varieties you might have noticed as 2 to 3 collection of flowers can be seen as. It is grown as a hedge plant or at the corners of the houses they grow it because they have thorns, but this is a hybrid variety which can be grown as an ornamental plant for its colorful flowers. They grow it in the gardens. So this is belonging to the family Verbinaceae, Lantana camera. Now the marigold flowers, so which we also call it, as scientific name is Calendula officinalis. Even this belongs to sunflower family. It is grown as an ornamental plant, and nowadays these garlands from this marigold is also commercially sold. This plant, Nasturtium species, again if you look, you shouldn't confuse with Geranium species which I showed. The leaves, at the edges of the leaves, they exhibit, the water droplets are exuded out. They exhibit guttation process, that is loss of water in the form of water droplets through the water stomata. It is not as water vapor which is seen in majority of plants, which we call it as transpiration. It exhibits guttation. So this is also a wonderful ornamental plant for its almost kidney shaped leaves as well as its colorful flowers. Nasturtium species which also exhibits guttation. So Papaver somnifera, the poppy seeds, Gusgaceae plant. So what you can notice is these are having the pods, and if you look into this unripe fruits, what they do is they cut slices at the ends, and the secretions they collect it and utilize it for the they are utilized as opiates, that is they extract opium, heroin and morphine. So growing this Papaver somnifera or poppy plant is illegal, and you should have license to grow these plants, even though these flowers are quite colorful and they can be grown as a ornamental plant, but it is illegal to grow it and you require license to grow it. So the Gusgaceae plant, the fruits of it, unripe fruits, they generally cut on it and collect the secretions from this. This secretion powders are utilized for extraction of opium, heroin and morphine. So this is one more plant that you might have seen in the parks. So they have gland dotted things, and it is almost lavender colored flower. There is a Plumbago indico which is completely white variety of flowers native to India, but this is a ornamental plant, that is Plumbago xylanica, which is commonly grown in gourmet gardens. It belongs to the family Plumbaginaceae. They have glandular hairs on calyx and inflorescence. So that is what you have to remember about Plumbago xylanica, which is also grown as a common ornamental plants. So the next one, this is not an ornamental plant, but you find it in the lakes or stagnant waters. We call it as the amphibious plants. They have very much shiny inflorescence which rise like granules. So we call this as Polygonum glabrum. They also have ochreate stipules, and since they are found almost growing at the border of the shore areas of lakes, we also call it as amphibious plants. So this is commonly grown in all the parks. We call it as red tumbe in Kannada. So it is a Salvia officinalis. What is important of this plant is both the sepals and petals are red in color. They have simple raceme inflorescence, and within the flower they have lever mechanism in the anthers. So whenever the insect enters, it pushes one of the lobes of the stamen, which is sterile, and it acts as a seesaw, and the another lobe which has the fertile part of it, has the pollen grain. It does the pollen grains on the insect back. So this lever mechanism of stamens is unique in this particular Salvia officinalis. So if you do have time, you can dissect the flower and look into this lever mechanism of pollination that these Salvia officinalis plants brings about. It belongs to the family Lamiaceae. Tumbe Gida or Lucas aspera also comes to the same Lamiaceae family. Tumbapu we call even in Tamil, so the white variety. So this is the ornamental red variety of the plant which belongs to the same family as Tumbapu, that is Lamiaceae family. This is called as the terror of Bengal. If you look into these plants, they have a bulbous petiole which helps in the plant to float in the water. So even if you strong wind, it doesn't turn the plant topsy-turvy. They have huge balancing roots. They are floating aquatic plants. They are not native of our country. It's an invasive weed. So we call it as terror of Bengal because in most of the lakes which has this domestic sewage let into, these plants grow abundantly and they completely destroy the flora and fauna of the lake. So they grow by this offsets. So this is Icornia crassipes. Initially they brought these plants for their colorful flowers, but now they find it very difficult to control this terror of Bengal, which is also called as Icornia crassipes or water hyacinth. The last one I wanted to share is the water lily. So water lily is different from lotus. Lotus, most of them have their leaves above the water and they have larger leaves, and on the flowers you can notice that they have a pedestal line. That is the reason most of our goddess and gods are having lotus as a seating position as per our mythology. But in water lily you don't find such pedestal like structures. So this is one of the water lily that you can notice. So Nymphia nauchalia, which is whitish in color, so it is water lily. So never get confused between lotus and water lily. So they are completely two different species. Lotus, which is the national flower of India, we call it as Nilumbo nucifera, and it is completely different in look from that of water lily. So there should be never a confusion between water lily and lotus. So that is all I wanted to share about most of the ornamental plants and flowering plants that we commonly see. So if you like this video, you can subscribe for this channel, and you can also share it with your friends for more such videos to be uploaded. Thank you.